Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here today. Well, let me just tell you, there are stories coming out that William is softening his stance on Prince Harry and his coming back into the royal fold. There are talks that are making it look like they're trying to work on this Project Thaw, Operation Thaw, whatever, to bring Harry back. However, there is some serious nonsensical stuff happening because I just don't see it happening. But the story that has come out that is talking about Harry coming back has got me asking a lot of questions. And I'm going to talk to you about what I've heard and what this could mean, because there's always, my friends, a bigger meaning around the news stories that we hear. And I think it won't be good for Meghan. But let's just kind of play with what we're hearing and talk about it and see if this is something that could really happen or if they're just talking a bunch of gobbledygook, because something is going on, my friends, okay? And we're going to talk about it. Shall we, Otis? Yes? All right, let's get into it. Otis, my dear. Yes, that's my Otis. That's my Otis. He's such a good doggy. He just loves being around me. This dog loves attention. Loves it. Right, Otis? Okay, well, what we have happening in the world of royalty are some headlines that are trying to test the waters. Do you understand? They're trying to test the waters of certain situations, because I do believe that the monarchy is very much attuned to the way of the people. And if the people are not for something, they are not going to push it. But I think they're trying to see if we put something out there or we tease it, what is the feedback? What we do know, and what makes a lot of sense, is that this royal split that has come out, we've been talking about it. These stories don't just make headlines just because like there is information out there that gives rise to a real potential royal split with Harry and Meghan. And so here is this headline. Prince Harry and Meghan's living increasingly separate lives as divorce rumors ramp up. They've grown apart. Now, when we hear this headline, we can think, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. And then when you hear about other stories on the back of this story, you have to really start to see if the follow-up stories could be true. Because let's just first take a quick look at what this story is saying. We remember when they did the Healthy Minds World Mental Health Day Gala. We remember when that happened. And previous to that, Meghan had been in Paris. She had did this whole Princess Diana stunt. And when we saw Meghan and Harry at this gala, this event, but what had been happening behind the scenes paints a completely different story about the personal relationship of Harry and Meghan. We remember when they attended this event and they did not seem quite attuned to each other. Harry looked extremely upset with Meghan. He seemed like he could not stand this woman. Prior to that, when he knew the cameras were on him, he really played it up. He showed himself to be, okay, let me smile, this is my wife. But there was this sense that we knew there was something going on. And it made sense. Like when Meghan even looked at Harry when she was getting ready to give her speech, Harry can't fake it. He could not fake it. He looked very, very upset and not happy with her. I think this is a growing sentiment that Harry has been having with Meghan behind the scenes. He's trying to fake it, but there's always these things coming up that gives Harry this disdain for Meghan. His life is growing increasingly more resentment that he is having towards Meghan, because she is the one that has put him in this situation where he's having to go out, make speeches, try to make a living to do what, my friends? To pay his bills. It's like, welcome to the real world. Okay, you like you and me, Harry. Okay, it doesn't feel so good, does it? You gotta make it. You gotta make it so you can pay your bills. But you don't feel like you have that specialness about you as a prince, because somehow that has been stripped away from you. And now you are trying to just make it in the world of celebrity, because that's where your focus is. That's certainly where your wife's focus is. Harry leaving royal life to forge this new future in California. There is this growing speculation they may be at this moment quietly assessing what life looks like apart, even while they're currently still trying to put on a united front before the people, because we have to understand that's their brand. They rely on making it look like they are still together. It's very important to the pocketbook. Make it look like we're all good. But there are things that are leaking, that are being said about behind the scenes, what's going on. The source went on to say that their appearance just fueled the rumor mill and made people even more convinced than ever that there's trouble in paradise. Now, amid the rumor, troubled Meghan has had a big year. We know that she's launched these 2 seasons of her With Love Meghan, her podcast, Confessions of a Female Founder. On October 15th, she won this Signal Award in Business and People and Entrepreneurs Shaping Cultural category. Just a lot of things to help inflate her ego. She debuted her As Ever wine, her fruits, her teas, her cookies, her honey, her crepe mix, flour sprinkles. With Meghan now preparing to launch Meghan 3.0. Meghan is preparing and doing all of these things around just her. Not in conjunction with Harry, but just Meghan. They're calling it 3.0. And then we know she's wanting to get into this whole fashion space. We know she went to Washington, D.C. for the Fortune's Most Powerful Women Summit. Meghan is all about promoting her brand right now. That is where her focus is. Her mission is to be a female business powerhouse, and nothing's going to get in the way of that. Even if it means spending increasing amounts of time away from Harry. This is her focus, is her individual brand. During Harry's downtime, he's hanging with his surf buddies and enjoying a game of polo. Meghan hasn't been tagging along, which has resulted in being apart more and more. Now, rumored trouble is also stemming from Harry's efforts to reconcile with his family. That we know. Does that not make sense? That is what Harry is trying to do. One UK outlet described a secret establishment plot alleging dubbed Project Thaw, backed by some senior UK politicians and courtiers who want to help warm up the Sussex's frosty relationship with the royals since the pair left Britain in 2020. We know Harry has made no secret about the fact that he is desperate to build a positive momentum with his father. And what they're saying about Meghan amidst all of this, Meghan thinks that Harry is being naive and that there's no way on earth the royals will ever treat them with respect, is what she's saying, or what has been alleged that she has said, that there's no way on earth that the royals will ever treat them with the respect they deserve. And what worries Meghan is that this will ultimately ruin the life that they've worked so hard to build in America. Okay. So that's the basis of what we know to be pretty accurate. It makes sense, does it not? Meghan's doing all these things by herself. Harry is trying to do what he can do to pay his bills, make speeches, whatever. They're not really together in purpose, and we know the marriage is suffering because of it. Now, here's the thing that is coming out.
Well, what comes out today? It looks like Meghan is going to be on the cover of Harper's Bazaar. Who did not see that coming after schmoozing with the editor of Harper's Bazaar in Paris? Introducing the winter issue starring, get that, yeah, hashtag Duchess Meghan, now trying to rebrand. I thought it was Meghan Sussex. Anyway, for years, the Duchess of Sussex has been the subject of other people's narratives, yet again taking jabs at the royal family. Without them, she would not even be on this cover. Anyway, now that she's forging her own future on her terms, then they talk about the link below. Look, this woman is not trying to make a transition with Harry back to the UK. This couple is headed for divorce.
About Harry and his return, Prince William agrees to accelerate Bring Harry Back campaign as Andrew has been ousted. But here's the part that I think really makes a lot of sense. They're saying that Princess Catherine is looking to help Harry to return to the UK without Meghan. Now, I almost have to question this because we know that there's no way that Harry is going to be able to come back without Meghan unless there is a divorce. Harry is said to have been encouraged by his sister-in-law, Catherine Middleton's return to the UK without his wife, Meghan Markle. And they say Catherine Middleton. They actually say Kate, but the disrespect for her name is just astounding to me still. But nonetheless, the Princess of Wales is reportedly urging Harry to visit Britain without Meghan on his next trip, hoping that he can begin mending fences with Prince William. The Duke of Sussex and the Prince of Wales have, we know, been estranged. Despite Harry acknowledging he loves his family and misses them, there have been no indication of reconciliation thus far. Now, Harry recently saw his father, King Charles, we know, when he came over for the Well Child Awards. Nevertheless, his sister-in-law, the Princess of Wales, is reportedly eager for Harry to reconcile with her husband, with the source suggesting that she is trying to keep a bridge open for the prince, who we know now is living in California. So according to this insider, Catherine has tried everything to get William to soften on Harry and Meghan as well, but there's just no moving forward with him. And that's exactly right. Harry wants back. I can see Catherine trying to forgive the things that have happened to bring them together, because we have to remember during the Queen's funeral, we saw Catherine try to be the mediator between William and Harry to get them to come together and talk, because we know the tensions were high. Catherine, that's just in her being. Like, she's all about love. Most recently, she gave a speech talking about, family and love, and really showing a new tone for the monarchy moving forward. I spoke about it on Dan's show, but nonetheless, we can see Catherine is trying to mend things with Harry. This is what they're saying. However, I just don't know if I can quite believe it just yet. But I do believe that Harry is trying to come back, and he sees that the only way he can go back is without Meghan. Nonetheless, they're saying that there is a UK return plot. Whether or not it is going to have William a part of it, I have to question that. I don't know that William is ever going to soften to Harry, considering what Harry and Meghan have done about calling them a racist family. William being like immediately having to respond and say, we're very much not a racist family. Like he just had to say it. I don't think William wants to even entertain that idea with Harry right now, because of all the things that he is currently doing with setting the new tone for a more slimmed down monarchy. His focus is elsewhere. But they keep saying it in the media. They keep trying to show us that there's a way back for Harry. They're trying to test the waters with the public. And I think more than anything, that could be more around King Charles trying to do that, but less about William, because they know if they don't have William's okay, it's not going to happen. But Harry is desperate. He is really trying to get back. And I think it's going to come down to an ultimatum for Harry. Either you come back without this woman you chose to marry, or you stay your butt over in America and just keep it moving, trying to pay your bills. Like, for real, Harry, we don't have time for you. This, I'm telling you, is going to be the narrative they're going to keep testing with the public to get a sense of how would the public feel about Harry coming back with this Project Thaw. Like, this is something they really are trying to do. Whether or not Catherine would be able to get William to soften his stance, I just don't know. I really don't think it is something that will happen, but you never know. Other things have happened that I also never thought would happen. But as it stands now, Harry is miserable in California with that woman he married while she is off trying to do her, because at the moment she is trying to get her Hollywood groove on, and that's just not going to happen. We all know that's not going to happen. Okay. All right, everyone. I hope you do. I hope you did enjoy this video, and I will see you all in my next video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Cheerio.